We are living through a truly generational historic bull market. Incredible to witness, and as traders, we need to appreciate this wealth generation window and ride the wave while it's actually here instead of fighting reality. Now, before we plot our lines, I know a ton of you watching right now actively trade the Invesco QQQ ETF. If you trade the Q, stick around to the end of this video. Right after we map out the main index, I'm going to break down the major holdings and show you exactly how we play them. But first, we have to analyze the main source itself, the NDX or the NASDAQ 100 index. So the first thing I always do when I'm on my charts is I zoom out on a max available window. That means it goes all the way back to the first day it IPO'd. That'd mean a daily, a weekly, a monthly, quarterly, yearly, something like that, where we can get the big picture and understand the growth from day one to where we are currently. That's always important. So let's go on a monthly here. I think that's a good viewing window. And really, the main analysis we're going to focus on is the year to date or the past 5 to 6 months. So, what do we notice after placing the level here? I see three very similar tops going from October, November, and then January of this year. We see the top here in October 26,182, November 26,132, only off by 50 points, and then in January 26,165. So this level is significant, no doubt. It pretty much signified the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months it took to break this downtrend. So definitely a significant level that could possibly retest in the future when we do correct, when we do pull back and fill gaps and all the things that we're going to talk about in a moment. Now, what we could do is we could also duplicate this and pull this down to the low of year, which is 22,841. Okay, so now we have the low of year mapped out, and then we have our 2025 high slash beginning of the year pivot. Okay, you can label that as well if you want. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I think we're pretty much good on the monthly. If you want, you could put the label right here because it closed 27,452 and then the next candle opened 27,508. So if you want to put that right in the middle there, you want to duplicate this and pull it up somewhere like right there where the candle closes and then opens, that works as well. Now let's take a look on the weekly chart. Right here, we're noticing the close of this base of the candle is where the last 2 weeks have been struggling. So right here, as you can see, the price closes right at the top of this line here. And then we see the next candle, very similar. This candle opens all at a very similar range. So I want to map out a line going right across the top of this green candle close. So right there would be 29,234. Okay, so now we have this labeled. What we want to now observe is the following 2 weeks. So we see the open here, 29,185, very close. The close, 29,125. Next candle, 29,246. And the close right here, 28,994 so far on the week. So we've had now 3 weeks consecutively where we closed at or below this range. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, this is a weekly chart. Why is it a micro pivot? Because I'm just talking about the time frame here. If we zoomed in on an hourly, this is where we would see it struggle. I can almost guarantee you a 4 hour, an hour, you're going to see this is where it peaks out. You might have some overnight activity that you'd see in the futures or that you'd see in QQQ. But with the index here, this is definitely going to be significant on the weekly. And you could label it weekly as well. But I'm going to make this blue because I think this is significant. So I want to label it with a little more vibrance so that visually I can make that mental note that this is more significant than these other levels below. Now, I probably saved you guys about 20 minutes worth of time. I put all the lines on the chart for you. I'm going to break it down really quick on the daily here. Same thing as NDX. We have a line placed right at that high daily close, all-time high. If you want to put a line at 722 for the actual all-time chart high, that works as well. But pretty much this first level here, you could see we kind of struggle. We get a huge pop, pull back, close below, gaps up, and then retest this exact liquidity almost 3 times. So this 696.53, you have to be pretty careful here. We don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to give this level out? Are we going to try and reclaim that upper range before making that attempt at all-time highs again? This is going to be really interesting here. It all matters on tomorrow's action. As you can see, overnight we're down a little bit, maybe about 1.5 points so far. Nothing really crazy here. It's kind of just stabilizing. FOMC Wednesday, we have a new Fed chairman here. Interest rates, all that craziness, Nvidia earnings. So this is expected to have this chop sort of theta monster coming for your contracts with crazy IV and slow price action. I'm not trading the market this week, at least in the first 2 or 3 days. I'm going to let it all digest and let everyone else stress out while we wait on the sidelines and try to map out a game plan. But ultimately, what I'm going to pay attention to is this key line here, and I'm going to make it light blue just so we really are making a mental note here that this is a point of significance as a potential support or bounce range. Okay, if we break this level down, I'd look to use this as resistance. So let's say, for example, we don't hold this level, we break through it, and now we start to retest it here. I would look for a potential short to back test this range and then go back into the gap fill here to grab that liquidity before making an attempt at that all-time high and reversing again. Okay, all matters on the bulls whether or not they could defend that 696.53. Okay, if not and it starts to fade, I would say probably the first stop 687.72, somewhere in this range. The low end 681.50 could also come into this gap, this little 6 point range. If we go below that, I would imagine somewhere 675, 674, somewhere there to try and grab that liquidity sitting there. If not, I definitely could see this coming much lower. If we just start breaking all of these levels out and it's a really big correction in May, right? I don't really see that coming back down to these old levels here and retesting that. Pretty much if that was to happen here, right, what you would see is kind of a support and resistance flip. So we kind of have, let's say, this range here where it struggled. Price now corrects and it comes back down, let's say all the way here, kind of something like this into this range before, squeezing back higher. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that we're going to fall, 70, 80 points down before going higher. But, you want to expect the unexpected. You want to have an open mind and anticipate any type of action. That's the one thing is if it goes up, down, or sideways, we're going to be able to take advantage of it in some way. We don't care about the overall direction. We can make money any way the market moves, any day of the week, and that's the best part about trading options. Now, before I let you guys go, I want you to take a look at the website, avidcapital.co. You get a free 7-day trial to sign up. Come into our group risk-free. Don't owe us a penny. Let us show you how we operate, how we make our call outs, how we teach, go over educational content, live trade, all of those things. If you're interested in something like that, again, you could head to our website, avidcapital.co. All you have to do is just click free 7-day trial, sign up, and it'll be the best decision you ever make.